Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dota 2 Builds of the Week, the weekly series where I take you guys through top 5 meta builds to help you get started with new heroes in Dota 2. As always, all the links to the builds are in the description down below, as is my Twitch. Let's get started. Today we're beginning with Core Luna. Luna as a position 1 has been very common in DPC, and you're seeing that because she is an incredibly efficient farmer. She has great teamfight potential with Eclipse, and overall she's just a very effective hero. Generally speaking, the build that you're going to go, especially if you're a relatively new player, is Lucent Beam into Lunar Blessing in order to maximize the amount of last hit damage and capabilities you have there. And then you're going to move into Moonglaves. You often see people actually skipping Eclipse at level 6 if you're a relatively high MMR player. At lower MMRs, you should probably take it anyway because you'll probably get pinged and flamed for not taking it, but sometimes you skip Eclipse because you shouldn't be team fighting at level 6 anyways. You should be farming as a Luna. With regards to itemization, you're taking as much last hit potential as possible, selling these off as you need space, building into Treads, Mask of Madness, which allows you to farm very rapidly, which is why you take Lunar Blessing and Moonglaves. And then you go into Dragonlance BKB. You can even disassemble the Dragonlance into the BKB if you need it faster, if you need to team fight earlier. Outside of that, there's a ton of extension items. As you start to play Luna and get more experience with her, you will be able to better determine which of these items are the best for you. But regardless, usually Agnum Shard into Scatty into something like Satanic, which keeps you up forever, is generally the build to go. In position 2 mid, OD has seen a tremendous amount of play thanks to the likes of Sumail, who's been putting it on incredible display over DPC. The amazing thing about OD is you're literally getting Meme Hammer at like the 6-7 minute mark right off your courier and getting a kill immediately with it. His timing is so immediate. And the incredible thing is that this translates very well into all pub games regardless of your MMR. With regards to how to utilize the Meteor Hammer, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to Astral Imprisonment the unit, and just as the Astral Imprisonment hits the, the timer hits the H in Banished, you actually cast Meteor Hammer to lock down the stun. A little bit of practice, you'll be A-okay, but use the word Banished to help you line up the Meteor Hammer stun. That's something that a lot of people overlook. People are like paying attention to the sound and stuff. Just use the lettering to help you time the Meteor Hammer. Once you figure that out, you are laughing because he is an incredibly strong hero. His build is relatively straightforward. You're going Blink into BKB into Agnum Scepter. You have some extension items as well, but generally speaking, what you're doing is you're getting that immediate Meme Hammer. You're getting on top of someone with Blink and you're getting them just knocked out of the fight. You're going to be an initiator, you're going to be a hunter. OD is absolutely out of control right now. In DPC, no position 3 offlaner is seeing as much play as Tidehunter right now, and that's for good reason. He has one of the best teamfight ultimates in the game, but most importantly, he's a hero that scales very well and can actually put out a tremendous amount of damage at all points of the game. Now, this particular build is more suited towards a beginner player. You're going to see more points focused in on Kraken Shell early to allow newer players to sustain the lane earlier, and so if you are more familiar with Tidehunter and more comfortable, you could prioritize taking Anchor Smash over Kraken Shell earlier on in order to create more lane pressure and to maybe get more kills in the laning phase if you're at an advantage. You are taking the value point in Gush. This helps you secure last hits on the range creep. It allows you to harass effectively and potentially get a kill of an excellent utility spell. But overall, what you're going to do is you're going to build into an early Ring of Health so that you can utilize your Soul Ring effectively, and Ring of Health with Kraken Shell will basically make you more or less unkillable. You're taking the Hood of Defiance in order to kind of, utilize that Ring of Health and to give you that added magic resistance, which is so beneficial. It also builds into a Pipe of Insight, which is very useful in most games. And then you're going to build an early Mechanism. Now, a lot of players tend to rush Blink. You want your boots into Mechanism because, the Mechanism timing is so important for Tidehunter because it gives you a tremendous amount of healing, a tremendous amount of armor. It helps your team in those early team fights where Blink Dagger, you don't really need it yet. Ravage has such a huge AoE. Blink Dagger is helpful later on. Get that mech first, get the Blink Dagger, and then finish your Guardian Greaves. And then finally, your Agnum Shard is going to let you take down towers super fast. It's going to make you split push effectively. It's going to make you do so much things as a Tidehunter to create so much map pressure. The extension items, as you get more familiar with Tidehunter, you'll get more comfortable with. I really like the idea of going Lotus Orb on many fights. Shiva's a great option, and of course, the Refresher into Double Ravage is always a huge fan favorite. One of my absolute favorite position 4 heroes is making a comeback in DPC. Windranger is back, and that's great news because I think she is one of the most fun heroes to play and literally one of my favorite heroes in Dota. please don't tell Slacks. Now, with that being said, her build-up is relatively straightforward. You're taking a lot of support items. Remember, you're taking the Sentry in order to block the enemy's small camp to prevent their pulls. You are going to be building towards some mana regeneration. She's a very mana-intensive hero, despite being an intelligence-based hero, especially early in the game. I do like the Tranquil Boots. Now, you could potentially go towards Arcanes if you want, skip the Ring of Basilius. That's for you to test. I tend to do this specifically. I love going Solar Crest in most games because most right-clicking carries generally benefit from it. Her shard is without question probably the best in the game. It allows you to completely disposition any opposing team. It can push them into you when they're trying to escape and you're trying to clean up a team fight. It can push them away when you're trying to escape. It's literally one of the best shards in the absolute game. Blink Dagger allows you to reposition so you can shackle shot effectively. I've made some adjustments, so just so you guys know, if you are interested in learning Windranger for the first time, I have a full complete Windranger guide I'll link up above. It takes you through everything you need to know, so I'll link that there so you can watch it after. But the shackle shot cooldown talent is, especially in lower MMR games where the games go longer, it simply outpaces the mana regeneration, so definitely take that. You're going to focus on power shot into shackle shot and wind run gaining invisibility. If you're able to get dispelled, you might want to consider getting the undispellable wind run, but outside of that, she is a tremendous hero with a ton of utility that I'm so happy to see back in the meta. Well, here's an interesting one. Abaddon, or Abaddon, depending on who you ask, is an emerging position 5. Now, he was seeing some experimentation in TI, didn't end up catching on, but now during the DPC winter season, you're seeing a lot of Abaddon position 5, and his build is really interesting, actually. What you're doing here is you're going early Curse of Avernus with a Orb of Venom. The reason for this is because the slows allow you to harass very effectively, especially if you have like a Drow Ranger or a Luna or someone who's very good at harassing the opposing offlaner in position 4. You're going into an Aphotic Shield. It allows you to basically do a tremendous amount of damage and trade very effectively. It's actually not even that expensive in terms of mana. It is, it does have a low cooldown, so you can blow your mana rapidly if you just keep casting it. But basically, you're just like the king of trading as a position 5. You go Mist Coil later on to heal up your position 1, but ultimately, right, you're going to trade as effectively as you can. You're going Magic Stick into Tranquil Boots into Magic Wand, and then what you're doing is Holy Lock it, not too common, but Holy Lock it into a Solar Crest. This gives you everything you need to support your right click and carry, to amplify the amount of healing you do later in the game, because you're going to be focusing around Mist Coil, and then overall you just become a very mobile with the movement speed. He's fast as it is, but movement speed, you're going to be a great healer. You're going to be impossible to kill with borrowed time, and overall you're just an excellent position 5. Optional items include your usual Force Staff. Aether Lens is absolutely fantastic on him. It gives him the mana sustain and the range that he needs to cast Aphotic Shield and not castable, but Mist Coil when need be. And also important note is that, remember, a strong dispel is applied on Aphotic Shield on the cast point, so when you cast it onto somebody, it dispels them with a strong dispel, including things like stuns. So super valuable to have something like an Aether Lens to cast Aphotic Shield right at the right time. And then of course his Aghanim Shard is fantastic. It applies the Curse of Avernus on people being hit by the Aphotic Shield, for instance, and his Scepter is pretty good too, but kind of really greedy for a position 5. But regardless of that, Abaddon, position 5, that's worth trying if you're interested into trying a new meta position 5 hero. Thank you so much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of our wonderful subscribers. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next Dota 2 video.